across to our panelist joining us on the issue of Delhi's excise policy. Anuja Kapoor, you heard Manish Sisodia there saying that this is the flip-flop on account of the LG. AAP's attack is directly on the former LG, where he said that the cabinet was not consulted. He says some vendors were favored. End of it, what you have is over 460 liquor shops now having to shut in Delhi, and who will bear the brunt of it? The people, for no reason, will be now deprived. The booze lovers, the tipplers, would be hugely disappointed in this tussle between the state and the centre. Why should the tax-paying citizen who pays through their nose the taxes whenever they purchase liquor have to suffer, Anuja Kapoor?
Afrida ji, I would like to give my contention before the panel and to the viewers that this is something which should be done consciously by the Aam Aadmi Party. I would say the saga of Aam Aadmi Party is the minute ED or CBI reaches their door of corruption. Like, have you seen in Satinder Jain, he lost memory. But in hospital, he regains memory before the ED arrives and he puts on the oxygen. Manish Sisodia remembered that the LG has not approved now the LG, the new excise policy, but he had approved when during that times when we gave it to him. Now, this is a very funny situation, and he thinks that we will believe him because now ED and CBI are actually up to their neck and they're trying to close it down. So this is where the problem is happening. Do you really believe that they really believe in the taxpayers' money? Do you really think? I don't think. Talk to the viewers. They will also tell you. They don't really believe in this. Why? Because they were always benefiting the liquor mafia. They were always benefiting the new excise policy, which was about to be opened again, because they want to again waiver of 144 crore rupees, which has been wavered off. You know that has been already talked by Nirmala Sitharaman ji also. So imagine now people are talking that what will happen to them. I want to ask to the same people, when you were enjoying the same liquor booze at that time, did you even ask from where it is coming and who's getting benefit? Now when they're talking about the liquor, only the people who were benefiting were the Aam Aadmi Party and the liquor mafia. The cartels were benefiting. The manufacturing companies who could not be in the new tender accordingly, which has been, this tender was also being given by this new excise policy in which it was floating, that the manufacturing companies will not be opening with the new retails.
So Anuja Kapoor, then let the CBI probe it. What is the problem? What is the objection that the BJP has to this? Because AAP is saying let there be a CBI probe. So why should that be a problem?
Who's objecting it? We are not objecting it. They have a memory loss. We too have told them, please go ahead. You do whatever you want to do now. So the things which are happening is, but till then, because we cannot, because the taxpayers' money, BJP is not the one who is eating or having a dance on it. The BJP wants to know to the people of India that they are the ones in Delhi who are trying to save the tax money payers. That is why we rolled it.
No, so this one-upmanship, Anuja Kapoor, this one-upmanship, and it's not just about Delhi's excise policy. It will always and always hurt the citizen and the taxpayer. And it's not just about liquor, Ravi Srivastav. This will happen time and again when there is this kind of a center-state tussle over practically everything. And this is going to be a glaring example of how the citizens would be made to suffer.
Thank you, Afrida, for having me on the show.
Pleasure.
I would like to have my uninterrupted time and tell about the liquor policy. As far as I had been a resident of Delhi for a number of years, and I have seen that how the liquor used to be distributed in Delhi. There were caged shops with barricades, and people used to fall one over another for buying the liquor. It used to be sold in the black, and all kind of violence used to happen over there. women did not have any opportunity to reach to such and take their buy any liquor or sit over there and consume it. Now, the new liquor policy, which called for a private vendors, the private sellers, private shops. I'm right now in a city like Bangalore. It has got swanky liquor shops and beautiful shops where men, women, all eligible people can go, sit there, taste the liquor, enjoy it. Now, Delhi government had brought that policy. You have heard just now, Manish Sisodia said that the then LG, Mr. Anil Baijal, had approved a policy in toto, in completion, and he talked about that even the unauthorized area can also have the shops over there. At the 17th of November, it was to be launched. 15th of November, 48 hours before, the LG comes out with some objection and says that you have to seek a permission of the DDA and MCD, which was never a practice, which was not even earlier days also, even in the Congress rule also, there was never a permission sought from the DDA and MCD. And people are suffering because of that. That the kind of those who are used to it, those who want to buy it, they were getting an opportunity. The good new shops were opened, and those shops people could have gone and consumed it and tasted it and used it. So I think this kind of statements that there was a corruption, fine, no issue. Aam Aadmi Party is never afraid of any CBI and ED, and they can do whatever they want. They have suspended 11 officers, that's their prerogative. Let them do it. Let them suspend more people also. Aam Aadmi Party has had 150 cases against their MLAs and all those.
No, we are not going into the ED cases right now. Let's stick to the issue at hand. And let me have a neutral voice, Mr. Bijon Mishra, also come in. Mr. Mishra, where do you stand on this? You've heard both the sides. Clearly, this has been going on for a long time. There's been a change of guard when it comes to the LG as well. And now it's all out there. I mean, you see, the fact is that so many of these shops closing down, ultimately the picture that you're getting here is that this issue is going to drag on for much longer now, well, if the CBI comes into to probing the issue.
Afrida, what I want to tell your viewers is that as a citizen, we always look at good governance. The slogan which the Prime Minister gave, less government, more governance, maximum governance, minimum government. So we should always try to ensure that there is no political interference in policies and in terms of how it needs to be implemented. The most important issue is what we all as citizens want is a simple manner in which you can access the product and you access it in a manner which is convenient to you and also make it affordable and not allow that product to be a kind of a vehicle of enrichment by certain vested interest. And that is where we come in terms of ensuring that if a policy is being made and the Honorable Lieutenant Governor at the last moment realizes that there is a flaw in the policy which needs to be rectified, and he understands that because of certain interventions by neutral people going to him and approaching him and bringing it to his attention, then he has the constitutional right to look at these issues. And then based on certain investigations, as I have been made to understand, he has today gone ahead and suspended the officials who were found that they had intervened in a manner which was not transparent and which was not in the interest of the citizens. So where is the mistake? The mistake is in governance. Like when you decide any kind of a policy, you have to make sure all stakeholders are consulted in an open and transparent manner before you bring in a policy. And if you don't do that, naturally these kind of events will occur where the constitutional head will get a pressure from the citizens or from certain neutral people who would be able to bring it in his knowledge, and he has the right to do it at the last moment because it was seen that it is not going to be in the interest of the citizens. or in the interest of the stakeholders. So what we all need to understand that when he is talking about certain things, he definitely has enough evidences to prove why he took this decision. And I always say that governance is a very important issue where political interference and for everything political interventions should not happen. We have to make sure, and we as citizens look at that, the governance should be insulated from any kind of a political and bureaucratic, kind of an influence. And that is where the bureaucrats have been taken to task. And if they have been taken to task by the constitutional head,
But
then
claiming quite the opposite, sir. What the AAP is saying is that this is our cleanup drive. What the AAP is saying is that the BJP wanted to replicate the kind of liquor mafia that is running in Gujarat. According to the Aam Aadmi Party, they feel that BJP was using agencies like CBI and ED to threaten liquor licensees, many of whom have now shut shops, and the excise officials were scared to start open auctions of retail licenses. So what the AAP is arguing is they want to create a shortage of liquor so that they can have an illegal liquor trade in Delhi, and the AAP did not allow that to happen. That is the argument, isn't it? I will have your view on it, Mr. Srivastav, but let's listen in first again to Mr. Sambit Patra, who made a statement in this regard, and Saurav Bharadwaj of the Aam Aadmi Party.
तो पॉइंट नंबर ई में आप देख सकते हैं, लिकर शॉप, शराब के दुकान, ये अलाउड नहीं है, ये मास्टर प्लान कहती है। सिसोदिया जी, आपका ये आरोप था कि वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कौन लीडर थे जिनके कहने पर एलजी ने इस प्रकार के क्लॉज को हटाया। तो सिसोदिया जी, हम आपको बताना चाहेंगे, ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी के किसी नेता के कहने पर नहीं, संविधान के कहने पर, कानून के कहने पर, नियम के कहने पर जो काम एलजी ने किया है वो आप सबके सामने है।
पिछले एक महीने से भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रवक्ता यही तो कहते थे हमें कि जांच से क्या डर, जांच होने दीजिए। अब भारतीय जनता पार्टी को एलजी साहब की जांच से क्या डर है, ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी बताए, जांच होने दीजिए। अगर कुछ नहीं किया तो कुछ नहीं मिलेगा, कुछ किया है तो मिलेगा। और वैसे भी सीबीआई तो आपकी अपनी एजेंसी है, केंद्र सरकार की इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग एजेंसी है। उससे सीबीआई को अगर जांच करने के लिए कहा जाता है तो डर किस बात का है?
Yes, Anuja Kapoor and Ravi Srivastav. Anuja Kapoor, you go first. You heard what Mr. Saurav Bharadwaj just said, and that was the question I posed to you as well. How do you want to take this forward, and for how long do you think this will continue? Because again, not having a clear liquor policy, not having a consensus also, and that too in the national capital, is going to hurt the citizen after all.
I think one of the panelists just talked about the good governance. This is where it stands. This is how it happens. If you just make a policy and then you remember you float it and then you do a cabinet meeting later, this doesn't work like this. And then they say ki LG, Anil Baijal ji approved it. Anil Baijal ji never approved it. In November only, 2021, on the conscience of the many people who had given letters, on even with the BJP people who had given letters to the LG on related to this cartel and the manufacturing companies, and on the tenders which are related to it with the shops which have been about to open in unauthorized areas, so non-conforming areas. The letters were being given. On that basis, in November 2021, show cause notice was being given by the excise department. Have they given the, have they given the response?
Quick
if
response,
they have,
Mr. Ravi Srivastav.
There was no response.
Yes.
Now they're talking about it. So this is very shameful.
Okay,
and
Mr. Srivastav, go ahead.
Moreover,
Please.
And Afridi ji, and moreover, I have also seen many times Aam Aadmi Party, BJP comes with a BJP spokesperson. But every time I see Ravi Srivastav ji sitting, only as a political analyst.
No,
I will not talk
I already told you. I already disclosed his political leanings. So let's have him respond. I'm running out of time.
They never send their spokesperson to speak with a BJP spokesperson. So this
Go
is
ahead,
one
Mr.
thing
Ravi
which I always
Srivastava, go ahead.
understand.
This is none of the business of the BJP spokesperson
It
to
is a
question on the
business.
panelists. Oh, it is none of
Okay,
your
please
business.
stick to your
This is
points. Please respond to the points made by Anuja Kapoor.
not yours. And let me tell you, first of all, such things that who ordered what, let the CBI inquiry be there. And the CBI is a government-sponsored agency. Let them do it. Why are they afraid? Let Anil Baijal be inquired. Let his decision be inquired. Who is stopping that? Another thing I want to say that these people should not take any high moral ground. They have killed 73 people by the hooch liquor in Gujarat. They were serving the methyl alcohol to the people with mix of water.
Okay.
They have killed all 200 people. UP. What will happen to Delhi if the excise policy
So
is
let's
not there?
hope that the current government, frames a new policy soon enough, since they are claiming that this arrangement is only until a new policy is streamlined. Let's hope that happens soon enough. Thank you so much for joining us. Completely out of time. Anuja Kapoor, Bijan Mishra and Ravi Srivastava.